Italian Football Podcast.
Spalletti said at the end of the game, he was quoted as saying that for me, Kim Min-Jae is truly the best centre-back in the world. This comes after a game in which he was absolutely monstrous. He actually went off injured. There was a little bit of worry about, had he suffered a muscular injury? Was it the same injury that he was suffering with in the World Cup with South Korea? In the end, it seems like he's okay, thankfully, because he's absolutely irreplaceable for Napoli, and no doubt about it. But he was a monster again in this game. So, what do you think of that quote from Spalletti? Is he the best centre back in the world?
I think he's definitely the most informed central defender in the world. One of the most informed. I think we've seen quite a lot. I think Ruben Diaz, Saliba. There's lots you can say.
Saliba's been amazing this season.
He's been absolutely fantastic. But I think right now he's probably the most informed, and he's been consistently the most important for his team. I think, especially in the Serie A, I think if you look at other players that have been consistent, he's also been very consistent. With someone like Chris Smalling, he's been very consistent, but he doesn't have the highs that Kim Min-Jae does.
Yes.
There's limitations to Chris Smalling's game, even though I think he's been fantastic. Kim Min-Jae has an extra ceiling, an extra gear. And, I think, but one thing I really want to say is he should not play in a back three. This is a back four defender. He's not quick enough to play in a back three. And I think if he decides to leave because of the clause that we're going to talk about, I think he needs to take that into consideration. I think he would be ruining his career if he were to go to a back three. I honestly think he needs to play in a back four, and this kind of a team. There, I think he's very, very dangerous. Yeah,
I wouldn't say he's slow. You don't see him getting done for pace, but that's because he reads the game so well. He apart from his pace, I think he has everything else. There's no other weaknesses in his game. He's absolutely the complete defender. And again, I repeat, he's not slow. He's just not. He just doesn't have the lightning pace of some of these other defenders. Like Saliba, for example, or Van Dijk when he was at his best, or some of the other Thiago Silva.
Bremer, I think, is very quick as well.
Bremer, yeah, Thiago Silva when he was young was very very quick. Though he doesn't have the pace, but he's everything else. His reading of the game, his aggression in the aerially, he's unbelievable. He's
a monster in the air. I think that's the most impressive part. The way he completely dominates in both phases aerially is just astonishing. It's just wow. He feels like he's never lost an aerial challenge.
No,
that's the feeling you get when you watch him.
Yeah, no, I was looking up his stats. This is insane. Let me read out his stats in Serie A this season. So he's won the most defensive challenges in all of Serie A this season among all players. He's won the second most aerial challenges in Serie A after Juric, who's a striker. So he's the most aerial challenges for a defender in Serie A. The most interceptions in Serie A. So again, the way that he reads the game, but he does that. If you watch him, the way that he reads the game, both as a presser, because obviously that's the type of football that Napoli play. They press and they press high and they try and win the ball back quickly. He's very, very good at reading the ball and see it and getting there in front of his defender. But also saw this a lot in the Frankfurt first leg. The way that sometimes he takes a step back when the other teams are attacking, and then he reads the game to sweep out the danger, almost like a sweeper, but also to come across into the channels and sweep and intercept the ball there as well. His reading of the game is magnificent. And he also has the most ball recoveries in Serie A as well, among all players. It's a basic, virtually a clean sweep in every single key defensive metric. He basically sweeps up everywhere. So he is statistically, but also just watching him play, he's a monster. That's his nickname, isn't it? The Monster.
He is a monster.